Hey, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew, aka Booty Sweat, and once again we are going to be talking about some custom variations for competitive play. Today we're going to be looking at our boy Liu Kang, the chosen one himself. So, alright, without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Okay, for the first variation we are looking at a combination of moves that a lot of people are using nowadays, and honestly, this is a combination of moves that is one of the reasons why Liu Kang is probably one of the best fighters in the game. And this is the Dragon's Fire move, which gives you some additional damage, kind of buffs your attacks. And you can switch this in, you can kind of combo into this or get this in a lot of different situations, but we'll get to that in just a second. The main thing we want to look at is we have the low fireball equipped. Now the low fireball is very, very dangerous with Liu Kang because while it is punishable on block, it actually makes for a really good combination with this string. You know, his forward 4 string is a very popular string, right? Well, one of the reasons why that string is so popular is because, for one, the last hit is +4 on block, so it's a good pressure tool. Now, it does have a gap in it, so if you do the full string, you can be poked out of that last attack. But if your opponent is trying to do that, that's when you can switch in a low fireball and hit them with that mix-up. Now, if they block that, then you can also amplify the low fireball and make it safe on block as well. So you have a few different options with the low fireball. It combos really, really well with that forward 4-3 up 3 string. And then, of course, you know, if you condition them with the fireball and they start thinking maybe you're going to do the fireball, then you can potentially get that nice crushing blow off of a counter hit or whatever if they're trying to poke you out of it and they end up getting hit with that kick because they realize too late that you're actually not doing the fireball after all. Of course, I have easy crushing blows on just to show you kind of what that looks like, but that's always a threat of big damage. In addition, we've also added the Kusari Slam, which is a high tickable command grab. And so again, this just adds more things that Liu Kang can do. You can, of course, tick into that if your opponent is getting used to the blocking and is figuring out how to block things. Then you can just tick into this command grab every once in a while, and of course it can side switch, or you can keep the side by holding forward. So it's a pretty good move. I hate command grab notations in this game, but yeah, so you can amp it and get more damage. You can do all kinds of stuff. So this is a really powerful combination of moves because you have the constant mix-ups with the forward 4-3 into the fireball and amp the fireball and, you know, do all of that kind of stuff. And then, you know, once your opponent is conditioned into doing all of that kind of stuff, then you can even start getting the Dragon's Fire mixed in there because it has a really, really fast startup of 13 frames, and now you've got the additional damage of that. So you see, for instance, this string, it's 94%, becomes 11.3%. So did I say 94%? I meant 9.4%. And then that turns into, you know, 11.3%. So it's a pretty significant improvement in damage. And with this combination of moves, again, you're just going to be mixing your opponent to death. Liu Kang has a lot of options with this variation. You can do all kinds of different things, and your opponent is going to be probably pretty frustrated, and you're going to get some big conversions and some big damage off of kind of mixing them up and making them go crazy a little bit. So yeah, that's this first variation. Alright, for the second variation, just before we get into it, of course, like always, I'd like to ask if you're enjoying the content that you make sure you like and subscribe for future Mortal Kombat and other fighting game content. Make sure you leave a comment below if you have, you know, different suggestions on what to use as Liu Kang, etc., etc. Also, I need to mention real quick, I forgot to mention in the last segment, the command grab is actually like a throw high, so it can be ducked and, you know, down to crushing blow and whatever. So keep that in mind. It is not a mid command grab like a lot of characters have. It is a high command grab, so it can be ducked. Alright, now to get into this, of course, we have kept the low fireball. The low fireball is just really important to Liu Kang. I think that whatever your variation is that you decide to use, you should probably have low fireball equipped. In addition, we have kept the Dragon Fire because that buff to damage is really, really good. Because it comes out so fast, it's really, really easy to get going. And so, you know, you can really kind of sneak it in various situations, and you end up with that damage buff and Liu Kang doing some serious damage. So these two moves, I think, are kind of mandatory if you want to really make Liu Kang kind of to his utmost potential. You want the Dragon Fire and you want the low Fireball as well. Now, in addition, for this variation, we have swapped out the command grab, and instead we're going to be using the parry. So the Dragon Parry is really cool because you can use it a lot of times on an opponent if they are, you can use it on your wake up because it comes out really fast. You see it only has 8 frames of startup, which is really good. So you can even use it on your wake up. You can use it on their wake up. If your opponent is very much into using get up attacks and you've noticed that, you actually get a crushing blow if you manage to parry an opponent's get up attack with this. So that's pretty cool. So that's some really nice damage just for reading that get up attack. And yeah, you can use it in so many different situations, again, because the startup is so fast. Your opponent can start making reads and start, you know, kind of playing around it if they start to figure you out a little bit. So you want to be a little bit unpredictable with it. Don't be too predictable. But really, this move kind of just adds another frustrating aspect to Liu Kang's game in a way that you're going to really frustrate your opponent. You're going to have a lot of different options. And again, with that, you know, with the low Fireball, you've got all these mix-up opportunities. And then, of course, even when you're on the defensive, you can get some big damage with the parry. And then, you know, you can even use it as kind of Oki pressure if they are wanting to use get-up attacks. So pretty good stuff. Liu Kang, one of the best characters in the game. Try him out. He's also really, really fun to play. He's one of the most fun to play characters in the game, in my opinion. So yeah, try him out. All right, that's going to be it for this one. We'll be back next time with his second in command, Kung Lao. All right, have a good one. Be blessed.